The reality of the most surprising in the history of basketball collaboration has been made public at last, and it's going to alter everything we believe to be true concerning the sport. Sophie and Caitlin Clark, Larry Bird, Cunningham, and three names, something no one anticipated seeing together, have recently released a statement that has the whole basketball world in a frenzy, enthusiastically and incredulously when the biggest star in the WNBA collaborates with among its fiercest veterans and paired with a renowned NBA Hall of Famer. You are aware of something remarkable is going to take place. However, what may bring these three basketballs, perhaps icons in unison? What project might be thus important that it needed this unprecedented cooperation? The consequences of this collaboration could transform women's basketball indefinitely and generate prospects that no one was aware of arriving. Caitlin Clark has made herself as the most revolutionary player in the history of the WNBA. Her influence on women's basketball is much more than statistics, as she has independently attracted millions of new admirers to the sport and produced unheard of viewership of television. Clark's impact covers every facet of the WNBA, from retail and ticket sales, income from television contracts. Additionally, she attendance at games regularly sells out, areas that previously had trouble with participation. Additionally, her social media, more than that of many well-known professional athletes from every sport. Sophie Cunningham is a representative of the spirit of competition and veteran leadership that exemplifies excellence in the WNBA. As a member of the Phoenix Mercury, Cunningham has established herself as among the league's most persistent defenders and key players, providing is an essential component of teams vying for championships. Cunningham's style of play exemplifies the physical aggression that has defined women's careers, basketball's development over time. Her readiness to accept tasks against the top players in the league and her outspoken leadership on the court has made her a well-respected person in both opponents and teammates. The work of Larry Bird, legacy as one of the best in basketball athletes and the most prosperous executives, offers unmatched credibility and knowledge of any basketball-related endeavor. His 3 NBA titles as a Boston Celtics player and his later achievements as an executive with the Indiana Pacers exhibit his comprehension of basketball brilliance at the greatest levels. The Ling Arwen. The WNBA season was determined by Archer Seif, by Caitlin Clark's revolutionary existence as her first campaign broken attendance records, television numbers of viewers and merchandise sales across the entire league. Her influence produced a phenomena in culture that went well beyond conventional basketball fans. Clark's capacity to create coverage in the mainstream media for women's basketball is a symbol of conflict, substantial change in the way the sport is viewed and ingested by the broad public. Games that frequently feature Clark appeared on the main sports networks. Her highlights and time programming become widely shared content on social media that attracted millions of views. The financial ramifications of Clark's presence has been astounding for the WNBA, as league profits rise significantly as a result of her pulling strength on marketability. Business sponsors who had previously demonstrated little interest in women's basketball got underway, looking for collaborations and advertising chances. Her manner of playing, which blends outstanding shooting range with creative passing skills, possesses impacted the way young athletes approach talent improvement and has spurred a new 6 basketball players in a generation to seek a career in women's basketball as a feasible professional route. Questions come up on how Clark's impact could keep growing outside of her playing career and potential opportunities exist in order to use her fame to bring about long-lasting improvements in women's sports and the culture of basketball in general.
Sophie
Cunningham has played in the WNBA for 5 years, characterized by her unwavering work ethic, defensive ferocity, and capacity to perform during critical times for teams vying for championships. Her function as an experienced leader has developed into become more significant as the league changes as younger players join basketball in the professional ranks. Cunningham's strategy for the game reflects the WNBA basketball's traditional principles: physical defense, a focus on the team, and steadfast dedication to victory. Her readiness to take on challenging defensive tasks, as well as her vocal during games leadership, has gained reverence across the league. Her experience performing with some of the best players in the WNBA, including Diana, Brittany Gurrier, and Taurasi with the Phoenix Mercury, has given her perspectives on the championship level basketball culture and mindset necessary for long-term success at the professional level. The difference between Cunningham's season viewpoint and Clark's status as a rookie sensation generates an intriguing dynamic that might offer insightful information about the development of women's careers, basketball, and the connection between both known players and up-and-coming talent. Legal professionals question if veteran Cunningham and other players could act as connections between various generations of WNBA athletes. Is Afari supporting the upkeep of competitive standards while accepting the alterations that new celebrities like Clark bring to the league? The work of Larry Bird. Among the basketball credentials are 3 NBA titles, 3 MVP awards in a row, honors Reno, and acknowledgement as one of the best basketball players. Past, his fierce competitiveness and period was distinguished by basketball intellect, of NBA greatness and established professional basketball standards. Accomplishment. After his performance career, Bird's accomplishments as an executive with the Indiana Pacers showed his capacity to assess talent, develop competitive groups, and negotiate the intricate business facets of professional basketball. His guidance was beneficial, make the Pacers a reliable, recognized, and a contender for the playoffs. Franchise. The relationship between Bird and Indiana. As he grew up, basketball culture was deeply ingrained up in the state and subsequently functioned as executive and coach for the Pacers organization. His comprehension of Indiana's basketball customs and supporters' expectations offer important background information for any projects pertaining to basketball within the Plegian. His standing for integrity, excellence in competition, and his basketball acumen makes him a trustworthy voice for assessing talent and giving advice on basketball growth and professional prospects in the sport. The consequences might imply that Bird's participation in any basketball-related project would offer immediate credibility and draw the interest of serious basketball fans who admire his accomplishments and discernment. The convergence of NBA and WNBA stars legends is an increasingly popular trend in the direction of cooperation and assistance between men's and professional basketball for women. This changing mindsets are reflected in evolution on the worth and caliber of women's basketball in comparison to traditional basketball audiences. Prominent endorsements and NBA legends backing aids in legitimizing women's basketball from the perspective of casual admirers who may have previously disregarded the WNBA as being inferior. Amusement. These collaborations produce chances for cross-promotion and audiences in common. The commercial prospects generated by WNBA star power combined with NBA credibility could bring in money, streams, and sponsorship agreements that surpass the potential of any side on their own. Business sponsors appreciate genuine collaborations that reach a variety of audiences. Networks of television and content benefits media companies that appeals to both conventional fans of basketball and the expanding audience for sports involving women. Programming that includes personalities from the NBA and WNBA can draw in more viewers and increased rates of advertising. Inquiries emerge of how these cooperative connections could have an impact on the growth of women's basketball and whether backing from NBA players may speed the increase in attendance. You understand viewership and the WNBA's financial success. 1. Region where Clark's Cunningham's competitive popularity, experience, as well as Bird's basketball knowledge might have a major impact on growth of young basketball and programs for coaching education that serve youth athletes at all levels of the athletics. High-quality basketball is necessary. Programs for mentoring and instruction have increased with youth involvement. Parents and young athletes look for genuine guidance from people who have attained success at the highest levels of basketball in the professional ranks. Clark's capacity to motivate young athletes, especially young ladies, in conjunction with Cunningham's comprehension of Bird's competitive evolution and understanding of the principles of basketball, could result in thorough development programs that focus on both abilities, growth, and a spirit of competition. The credibility and financial resources necessary to initiate large-scale basketball advancement initiatives frequently surpass what particular players are capable of. Forming alliances between several basketball figures and appealing method for producing programs that are sustainable. Legal experts observe that programs for juvenile development need thorough preparation, appropriate licensing, and complete insurance protection, making the participation of seasoned basketball players are essential for